Pelle Larsson just had his best game of Summer League, or as I like to call him, playoff Pelle, because he absolutely dominated the Golden State Warriors in the semifinals of the Las Vegas Summer League. Now, of course, the Heat drafted him in the second round because they believed that he was a guy that could play right now. And through his first few games of Summer League, he certainly made some nice plays, but he never really had a game where he fully stood out. Now, I will say I understood the pick because although his box score numbers didn't jump out at you, he did show a lot of versatility and show that he can use his athleticism on the offensive and defensive end. But prior to the game last night, there wasn't many highlights that we could break down, but now we got a bunch because that boy was hooping yesterday. So that's kind of why I wanted to come to you guys with this video so I could show you that versatility that we've been talking about. So the first play I want to highlight is actually the first play of the game. It was a lob to Ware. I believe this was a set play because in the previous game versus the Raptors, the first play was also a lob to Ware. That time from Isaiah Stevens, but this time it was Pelle Larsson who was the ball handler in this action. You can see Ware comes up to set his screen. And truthfully, it probably should have been a moving screen. You can see he kind of takes his arms and two-hand shoves that white-ass accountant boy, kind of throws him off a little bit. But that white-ass accountant boy, Pat Spencer, he did do a decent job in recovering. But what I want to kind of note here is as Pelle has the ball, Khalil basically has a delayed roll on the pick and roll. And this allows Isaiah Stevens to get into position for a back screen on Ware's man, and that allows Ware to kind of cut to the rim pretty cleanly, and then Larsson gets to the mid-range spot and throws the high pinpoint accurate pass to Ware, where he is the only one that could catch it. That's how you run a pick and roll with a 7-foot big man. Throw it as high as you possibly can, where the only chance that someone catches it is your man, and Pelle Larsson executes that to perfection as they get on the board 2-0, which was a sign of things to come for the rest of the game. And the next play I want to talk about is Pelle Larsson's first triple of the game. This time you have Ware setting a screen for Cole Swider. Ware rolls to the rim and draws the attention of basically 3 defenders because they already know how deadly Ware is rolling to the rim because they spam that action so much. But since Ware is drawing so much attention, surprisingly, Cole Swider makes a very nice read and kicks it out to the open Pelle, who has a super quick release on the shot. So one, shout out to Cole Swider for doing something other than hitting threes, which he didn't even do last night. He was terrible last night. They won that game in spite of him, but this is not a Cole Swider slander video. I actually do like the amazing Swider, man, and I think he's going to go off in the championship. I'm going to state that right now. But anyways, makes a nice read, and then also shout out to Pelle Larsson for the super quick release with all the confidence in the world and knocks it down. And this next play was another beautiful pass from Pelle to Khalil. This time, Larsson is moving without the ball. Looks like a little bit of a change of pace to kind of throw the defense off. Almost makes it look like he's going to spot up at the right wing. And because of that, when Pelle catches the ball, Spencer closes out very hard to him. So Pelle adjusts, takes one hard dribble, driving to the right side. Looks like he might even be getting ready to do a Euro. So the defense commits to him completely, has almost 3 defenders on him. And then Pelle hits a cutting Ware perfectly. Shout out to Khalil because he timed that cut very, very well. And if you look at the end here, it also looks like Pelle Larsson screened the Warriors big man, so he couldn't come up to contest the shots. I don't know if that was intentional by Pelle or his momentum just carried him that way, but if that was intentional, that's just another nice touch that he put on this great play. This next play was another beautiful reverse layup by Pelle. This time, Ware comes to set a screen on the left side. And if you look, this part is subtle, but Pelle does like a little shake, which is enough to throw the defense off and give him the leverage to beat his defender once he rejects the screen going to the right side, takes 2 dribbles, and then he picks up his dribble about 10 to 15 feet from where he's going to finish on the reverse side. So he has some great footwork here on these 2 steps to absolutely split the defense. And then the part that I very much love is the angle he takes on this layup, because he uses his right hand on the left side of the hoop, which is usually a no-no. You know, if you're on the left side, you usually want to finish with your left hand. But there's certain cases where you want to go with the opposite hand. This is one of those cases, because you could see Spencer jumping up to block the ball, but because Pelle uses his right arm, he can kind of scoop it right under that outreached arm there, and that's just a great finish on the drive and great overall footwork to get to that location in the first place. On this next play, what we really see is just bad defense, but Pelle Larsson recognizes that. He's basically sitting in the corner and he sees that the defense is basically falling asleep. Pelle is not ball watching, he is watching his defender, and when he sees his defender not looking, he does a simple cut backdoor, and then Isaiah Stevens does what Isaiah Stevens does and hits him perfectly and gets Pelle the easy layup. Now, this play was probably my favorite one of his in this game because it truly shows off his athleticism that we've been talking about for a while now. So basically, the Warriors guy dives to try to save a loose ball, and Pelle catches it maybe 8 to 10 feet from behind half court, and from there, he only takes 2 dribbles to get to the rim. That's some Giannis stuff right there. Look at this. Look how far he catches this. 2 dribbles to get to the rim, and then as he's driving, he feels the contact and puts the shot up immediately to get the and one. He has all his momentum going one way, but is able to slow down to get just great touch on that ball, gets it to fall, and the craziest part is look at his feet. Pause on that one. Y'all know I say I got a foot fetish for the footwork. That's just jokes though. I'm saying look at his feet because he jumped off the right foot on the right side of the rim. Just like we were talking about finishing, when you're on the right side of the rim, you're supposed to use your right hand to shoot, but you're supposed to jump off your left foot because that gives you the best balance and helps you, stops you from getting knocked off by the defense. But in this case, Pelle went up as soon as he felt the contact, and that is when he was on his right foot. So that is just incredible balance and dexterity from Pelle Larsson with that speed and taking 2 dribbles. An all-around super impressive play that really makes it look, that he really makes it look easy, but this is a hell of a shot by him. And the final play that I want to discuss today is this monster 3 that he hit late in the game. Stevens is there. He's not really having great spacing on this play. He's sort of trying to set like a weird off-ball screen on his own man, which is right next to Pelle's defender. Maybe he's trying to give Larsson like a decent driving lane or something. I don't necessarily understand what Isaiah Stevens was doing here, but Larsson sees that Kevin Knox is sagging off a little bit too far. So Pelle takes 1 dribble, squares up his feet behind the 3-point line, and drains a huge 3. I absolutely love the confidence here because check the score. First of all, the Heat were up 1 with 1.5 minutes to go, so obviously this was a monster shot. But to provide some additional context, this is just a few possessions later after Pelle missed back-to-back layups. The Heat were really cruising. It looked like they might, walk away with an easier win, but Pelle missed 2 layups, one of them right under the rim. The other one was off a beautiful lob pass by Isaiah Stevens. That kind of allowed the Warriors to get back into it. But instead of the young kid putting his head down, he goes out there and hits a monster 3, which was basically the dagger. Not necessarily, the Warriors still had a chance to win at the end, but it was just obviously a monster shot that the Heat don't win without. So shout out to Pelle. You love to see the confidence for him because going into this summer league, a lot of people were saying that he was like the Duncan Robinson replacement because they looked at his 3-point percentage and it was good. And I said no. When I actually did my research on him, I said he reminds me more of a Tyler Herro, in terms of offensive versatility and just confidence to really look for your own shot. And that is something that I like from Pelle. Now, that's basically the only comparisons between him and Tyler because Pelle is a much better defender, way more athletic. But let me just stop before I start saying too many bad things about Tyler Herro. But yeah, that's basically the end of this breakdown. I'm very curious to see how much of a role Pelle has with the Heat this year. I think a guy like Keyshawn Johnson will play more. I was kind of explaining this in my post-game reaction video yesterday. So if y'all want to see my full breakdown on the game, make sure y'all go check that out. But Pelle is a guy they could use. He's one of those guys that really doesn't have a weakness. And I like that because I'm tired of playing all these guards that get hunted on defense. It's the most frustrating thing. But you don't got to worry about that with Pelle. I know we didn't show any defensive highlights today, but his hustle on that end is very good, man. I think forced an offensive foul today, drew a charge, forced a backcourt violation. These are all things that just add to his versatility, which is, again, just kind of what I wanted to highlight today. But anyways, let me know y'all thoughts down below. Tell me, do you think Pelle will play a lot this year? Give me a prediction. How many games, how many minutes per night? I'll be reading everyone's comments, so I'm curious to hear what you think. Make sure to like the video and subscribe because the growth on this channel has been crazy, and I can't do it without the rest of y'all. Appreciate all the support, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.